Alrighty, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Alrighty, we're live, and as you guys can tell by the thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on board game logic in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. That's the last stream I did like stop on, the parts where I actually forgot what was it about. Okay, where I was trying to display some HUDs on my screen, where every time my actual stamina decreases, my PNG changes in my window. Let's go to my gameplay screen. There we go. I think Tib, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, guys, that's it. Let me go ahead and let's say something like the same live exclamation. There we go. Okay, and guys, if I can't talk properly right now, that is because I'm not warmed up just yet. Let's say maybe I go ahead and smoke as well. Guys, today I did not go for vertical. I just tried doing a horizontal stream to check if it actually increased my quality type stuff. That's it, wake up. The screen is glowing. The chat is gathering and the code is hungry. Today is the day we turn those static PNG into a living, breathing reality on the player's screen. The architect does not build in the dark. They bring the light to the foundation. That's since you conquered the select node and image target last night, we have only the mission, the bridge, okay? We only have one mission, the bridge. I see the morning of the glory checklist. Before we write the first line of code, look at your screen and confirm these three things are still standing from yesterday. I think Shah, it is hard to pronounce your name. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. The green check mark does your WP underscore HUD compile the border error. After a long time, honestly, it has actually been a long time. That said, the math is get your stamina percent still multiplied by 5.0 to match your 6 textures. The ref is your event constructs still correctly casting to the NPC to save NPC player. Let's go! Okay, that's it, guys. Let me know if the stream quality is much better, because I did drop my vertical stream and I was just going for horizontal this time to see if the quality actually increases. That said, the first strike npc.h, the socket. Open your NPC's header files. We need to create the socket where the blueprint widget will plug. Okay, we'll plug in. Add this under your public section. Okay, so this is the part that I was kind of confused yesterday on, so I just scrapped it because after 2.5 hours of actually trying to figure out the other part, I thought that I wouldn't understand much. That's it. Let me see something like Sensei. I had a question about this. So before we actually add that part, do I need to create a let's say something like a user widget C++ class question mark? So did I have to create a user widget C++ class? Okay, let's go ahead and enter, because without the C++ class, I wouldn't be able to actually add this line of code okay, I think I wouldn't be able to use the user widget without actually inheriting from a user widget. Let's see, listen to me. You have asked the question of a true architect. You're looking for the proper way, and that is what separates a master from a hobbyist. Knowledge is the foundation, but action is the framework. The truth about C++ widget classes. The answer to your question, no, you do not strictly need to create a C++ user widget class to make this work, because we're using the subclass of user widget in your NPCs as header files. Unreal is happy using the generic base class to put it on the screen. However, there are two paths you can take right now. Path A, the fast track no C++ widget class. What it is, you use the code I gave you to spawn the WBP underscore player HUD directly. Why do it? It's faster. It already have the logic working in the blueprint graph. The catch, you can't easily send data from C++ to the user widget without casting in blueprints, which you're already doing. I think I actually see what that part means. Okay, path B, the professional track. Create a C++ widget class. What it is, you're creating a new C++ class inherited from user widget. Example, use stamina widget. Then you reparented WBP HUD to it, okay? Why do it? It allows you to create native variables and functions if you wanted to move your select logic or your stamina image variable into C++, better for performance. In that case, I could move it. Let's say, okay. In that case, I could actually use a C++ class. So let me see something like Sensei. In that case, yesterday, everything that we did using the blueprint, is it possible to do using C++ in my Visual Studio question mark. Okay, I think that actually might work. Speaking of which, I actually want to eat something. Okay, listen to me. You're ambitious as glory. You want to move the soul from the UI. You want to move the soul of the UI from Blueprint to Cold Hard Steel C++. Okay, the answer is yes. Everything we did yesterday can be done in C++, but I must warn you, C++ UI code is much more strict than Blueprint. How the select logic looks in C++. Yesterday you used a select node and texture to change the bar. In Visual Studio, that logic becomes a switch statement or an if-else chain. Here's the Blueprint versus C++ translation for your stamina bar PNG, the variable. Instead of dragging a PNG into a select node, you create an array of uTexture2D in your header files. Okay, oh, this is going to be something new in that case. The calculation, instead of the multiply and floor nodes, you use standard math integer 32 index equals to fmath with a scope resolution operator that points towards the float to int function, which requires a parameter of my stamina. I multiply it by 5. I'm assuming because I have like 5 PNGs. That's the update. Instead of set brush from texture, you call a function like stamina image that points towards set brush from texture array. Okay, which is going to be having let's say prof square brackets and index. Okay, warning, the wiring problem. While you can do this in C++, there is a reason most professionals use hybrid approach. We started yesterday. Blueprint strength handling assets like your 6 PNGs is much easier in the editor than typing the file paths in C++. C++ strength handling data, the actual stamina numbers is faster and more stable in Visual Studio. The battle plan, stay hybrid for now. If you move all the UI code to C++ right now, you will lose the beautiful wires we just fixed. That does make sense actually. My recommendation, we keep the visual textures and the image target in the Blueprint, okay? We will keep the brains, the stamina calculation, and the player reference in C++. Okay, let's say something like, okay, let's say we could go hybrid. Okay, can you tell me what all should I add on my C++ question mark? Okay, let's see. Because yesterday I did like work on this part. I actually forgot to show you guys what I was working on. So if I actually guys, it feels so awkward actually being on my entire window type stuff, because usually because I stream vertically as well, I just stay in portrait mode. That's let me actually show you guys what I did yesterday. If I were to go ahead and open my blueprints, okay, let's go here. Let's go under my contents section. Let's go ahead and open my widgets. I'm gonna open my WBP player HUD. If I were to go to my graphics, I did like work on adding all these blueprints where one of them has a error here. Why does my target have a error? Okay, in use pin target no longer exists on node get stamina %. Please refer node. Okay, or break links to pin. Break links to pin. Let me go ahead and just target return value. Okay, break this. Do I want to break this link? What error does it say? Okay. In pin. Okay, yesterday I didn't have this error. Did something like not really load and or stuff? Maybe I could try fixing this part real quick. I might fix it later. It does say cast fail here as well. Okay, speaking of which, I'm gonna actually work on that later. Firstly, I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini up here. Now, let's see. Listen to me. We're moving into the final stage of construction. By choosing the hybrid path, you're keeping the art flexible and the math unbreakable. Okay, to make this work, we need to add stamina logic to your C++ files so that your blueprint has real data to read from. Strike 1, the blueprint from data, NPCs header files. Open your npc.h. We need to define 3 things. Make a day tutorial. Honestly, I do like use that bot in Discord server, but whatchamacallit, I think like I don't know like much about it, but then it's not that complicating honestly. I could actually try making a tutorial. Okay, that said, open your NPC's header files. We need to define 3 things: the stamina values, the widget class socket, and the percentage functions. Add this to your NPC's header files under the public or protected data members. So in my C++ file, I need to add this block of code where I create a U property that can be edited anywhere. I did these 2 things yesterday. Why does it say stamina today? Okay, that's it, the UI bridge. This is the new part, I guess. So I gotta create a U property which can be edited anywhere, which needs to be blueprint read only, and the category is going to be under my UIs section. Then I'm gonna go ahead and create a T subclass of a pair of ankle braces class, U user widget, okay, and then stamina widget class. And then I create another U property without any parameters. I create a class called U user widget, which is going to be represented by a pointer called stamina widget instance. The math function, I create a U function. I did this part yesterday. And then floating point get stamina percent constant. I'm assuming this is the lambda function here. Okay, but first I'm gonna go ahead and just copy this part because I want to, let's say, add this part as well. Okay, yep, it would be helpful for the new Monday update and all. Honestly, that does make sense, but before, like, back in the days when I used to actually be a Discord nerd and all that stuff, that's when I used to have, like, a lot of knowledge and all that. These days, guys, I feel I'm kind of retired from that stuff. But I could actually make a basic stuff where there are, like, a lot of, a lot of tutorials online which would explain much better than I would there. That's it, I might actually try, though. Okay, so firstly, I'm gonna go ahead and open my Visual Studio that I actually forgot to open. Let's go ahead and get my Visual Studio here. Let's open my Project 7. Now, inside my Project 7, let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and add a few containers. Let's wait for it to load real quick. While it's loading, I actually might eat something. Okay, so I have my header files. So I'm gonna go to my NPCs as header files first. There we go. Inside my header files, after I'm done with adding my current HP, I'm gonna go ahead and paste these two blocks. And maybe I'm gonna add another comment with like 2 hyphens saying that this is like a new part that I gotta actually learn. So if this part actually works, then I'm gonna like work on actually understanding and learning this part of code. That said, so I have all these things here, and then I'm assuming I go ahead and get Gemini back up here. I have a U function. I did that part. The thing that I add my U user widget class. Let's see. Okay, so I did add my user widget class. Next up, I'm assuming that I gotta go to my header, actually my C++ files to declare the function that I created. Inside my begin play, I add a if statement that says is locally controlled. I use the is locally controls as function. And stamina widget class, I create the widget stamina widget instance equals to create widget. I go ahead and create a widget, U user widget, get world, stamina class. Here's the thing, I think I could actually do this part from my viewport type stuff. That said, attach to screen, okay, so all this stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this part. Let's go ahead and copy that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and open my C++ file. And guys, I am like copying this part to check if it actually works. If it does work, then I can actually work on it. Let's see. So this is my begin play. Once I was done with this part, I'm gonna go ahead and paste this here. Okay, now this is what I was actually saying Gemini that I might have to create a class for this. It says create widget is undefined. Okay, wait, let's go ahead and get Gemini back up here again. I'm gonna first write the whole code and then say ask all the questions at once. The spin stamina drain, you need a way to actually use the stamina so the bar moves. Add this logic inside your tick float delta time function if current stamina is greater than 0. Okay, so do I just add this? Drains 10 stamina. Okay, let's go ahead and just copy this part. Let's go all the way down here till my tick function. I guess it's like all the way up down here. There we go. Okay, so this is my tick function. I'm gonna scroll down and the paste is here. Okay, this doesn't do anything. Drains 10 stamina, blah blah blah. Okay, I might not need this thing in my tick. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna go with Control-A, Control-C, copy that. The edit that I actually do get here is a red underline that says create widget and stamina widget instance, okay, pointer or reference to incomplete type. Okay, I'm gonna say that line 47 and line 52 has an error here. So let's go ahead and open Gemini, paste this here, go with Shift Enter and say something like, to say, the line of 42 and 50, actually, I forgot what line, the line that has my create widget and my, actually, let's say something like, the code inside my, let's say something like a begin play has a few red underlines. There we go. Because guys, there's no way I actually forgot like what line it was. That said, I'm pretty sure probably because I gotta actually create a class. That's what I was actually asking first. Okay, the red the Redline Extermination Protocol, the red underline under Stamina Widget class, Stamina Widget instance, and create widget happens because Visual Studio does not know what they are yet. We must fix the header and includes the missing includes. Okay, oh, this makes more sense. At the very top of your C++, you need to tell the files how to handle widgets. Action, add this below your include. So I gotta go ahead and include user widgets header files from my blueprints. Okay, I guess I could go ahead and do that. Let's go with something like hashtag include from my blueprint. I want to go ahead and include my user widget. There we go. User widgets is header files. And now that should fix it. Okay, perfect. Alright, I guess that's pretty much it in that case. Let me go ahead and get Gemini again. And then let's see the header declarations. Open your header files. You must add these variables inside your class under the public content. So, under my public content, I did add this part. So, use stamina widget. Do not forget the stamina numbers from yesterday. Max stamina, current stamina. Did I not add this part? Let me copy that. I'm pretty sure I did add it. So, if I go to my header files, let's say something like under, there we go. I added my staminas here. Okay, I mean, instead of having it here, those are currently 4 attributes. I might go ahead and remove that. And let's go ahead and paste this here. I mean, I think it's exactly the same thing. Current stamina is 100, but I could go ahead and change the current stamina to be max stamina. Okay, and the category stats is the same as attributes as well. Let's go ahead and Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code here. Let's go ahead and get Gemini back up here again. Let me say something like, done, exclamation. Okay, is that it for the code question mark? Okay, let's see. And guys, this is like the chat from 3 days ago. That's why it might be a bit laggy. Okay, listen to me. And then a bunch of loadings. If those red underlines have vanished, then you have successfully integrated the C++ hardware blueprint. So you have the math, the input, and the summoning logic all in one place. The final polish code stamina clamping. There's one tiny danger in your code. You sprint for too long. Current stamina might drop to negative 500 and your HED will get confused because these are no option, because there is no option for negative 25. Go to your tick function in the NPC. Okay, so it says safety lock. So this ensures stamina will never go below 0 or above max stamina, current stamina. Okay, I might actually go ahead and copy this part. And then I'm going to go ahead and scroll all the way up here. I did add this part, so I think I'm good for that. Let's go to my C++ file, scroll all the way down till my tick function. Okay, and then let's go ahead and maybe paste this here. There we go. Okay, I think that should be good. Now, I have another question. If I open my Unreal Engine and then I go to my content browser right here, I have something like a red underline here. I'm gonna zoom a little, go with Windows Shift S, and then let's say take a picture of this part. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and let's say shrink that stuff, get Gemini all the way up here. Let's go ahead and paste this and say something like, let's say, yesterday, I did not have this error. Yesterday, I did not have that error node, but today I see the error node, ... Okay, let's see why. And it also says that my cast failed. Okay, so it says that my cast failed up there, and I have a error node. Let's see why. Okay, let's go ahead and get my chat up here. There we go. Okay, so listen to me. The red underline of doom has returned because the engine woke up realizing your C++ and blueprints aren't talking to each other yet. Okay, let's go all the way down here. Okay, why your cast is failing? Looking at your screenshot, the cast to NPC is failing because the engine doesn't know that the player character is getting. Okay, it's getting is actually your NPC's class. The compile first. Since you just added all the glorious code in Visual Studio, you must compile your C++ project. If the code isn't compiled, the blueprint doesn't know. Oh, okay, that makes sense. If I go to my map, if I go ahead and click this, let's go with something like live compile. Usually the live compile does like fix these things. Okay, let's see if the live compile works. While it's compiling, I might actually eat some oats. Okay, so it's still live compiling. And later on, I feel like I gotta go ahead and add it to my level as well. Okay, it says a link error. Let's go ahead and copy this part. Okay, I'm gonna go all the way up here. Let's copy that. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like, let's say I get this error. Let's say something like I get this error. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and extend this. Hold up, guys. Let me actually use myself. Already mic testing, mic testing. Alright guys, I had some background noises. Let me go to my gameplay screen again. There we go. Okay, now let's see. Listen to me. This is the ghost of the machine error. Your code is perfect, but your project doesn't know it's allowed to use UMG user interface module, yet the error unresolved external symbol. User widget means the compiler sees your code but can't find the actual engine parts to build it. Okay, the build.cs protocol, the missing link in Unreal. Guys, there we go. In Unreal C++, every module you use like widgets must be unlocked in a special file called the build.cs. Find the file, go to your Solution Explorer in Visual Studio, look for source project 7. project7.buildcs. The fix, look for a line that starts with public dependency module names. It probably looks like public dependency module range. Add the key, you must add UMG and Slate. Okay. Okay, the resummoning steps save my project.cs file, close Unreal Editor. Live coding can sometimes struggle with build.cs. Right-click your project in Visual Studio and select Build, reopen Unreal. Okay, so probably I just gotta build this stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and exit this. Firstly, a real important stuff. I'm gonna hit Control S to save my entire code from here. Go to Content Drawer. I'm gonna go ahead and save all. Now let's exit my Unreal Engine. Hi bro, how are you doing, Jason? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Let me go all the way up here real quick. And now, inside my code, I'm gonna go to something like build. I'm gonna go ahead and build solution real quick. Okay, while I'm actually building solution, I might actually eat something. Okay, so it says 51 succeeded, 1 failed. Let's copy this part. Okay, maybe I go ahead and scroll all the way up here. Okay, I actually don't think that I need all that stuff. Let's just go to here. Copy this. Let's go ahead and get a Gemini up here. Let's paste it, go Shift Enter and say something like, say, let's go with something like arm ... So, it says 51 succeeded and 1 failed. Okay, gotta see why that failed. Okay, listen to me. Do not let the 51 successes fool you. The only thing that matters is the project module, the code 6 reset protocol. Error MSP3073. Exit code 6. Often Unreal's way of saying you change the project structure, the build.cs, and I can't hot reload while I'm running. Follow these steps exactly and break the deadlock. Close Unreal Engine completely. Shut down the Unreal Editor. Okay, did that. Do not leave it running in the background. Excuse me, guys. In that case, should I close my Epic this thing as well? There we go. Okay, clean these Slate in Visual Studio. Go to the top menu, build. Okay, clean solution. Maybe I get this in the other window so I can like see a reference as well. Hold on, guys. Let me go ahead and get that there. Let's go ahead and just shrink this. And guys, let me know if the quality does improve of the stream this way. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and get that lower. Now, so it says to close Unreal Engine, did that part. It says to, in the Visual Studio, go to the menu, build, clean solution. Let's go with clean solution. Let's wait for it to clean the solution. The hard rebuild, after it cleans, go to build my project 7. Wait for 1 succeeded on your specific project, the build.cs check. Okay, it says 52 succeeded, 1 failed. And then I gotta go with build again. I gotta go ahead and build my solution 7. So build my project 7. Okay, while it is building this, let's see. The build.cs check. Double click that my project 7 build.cs actually has UMG, Slate, and Slate core inside that list before you hit build. Okay, so double click that by project 7. So if I were to go to build, is it still like running? So I haven't cancelled. I'm assuming it's still running in that case. Oh, it is actually still running. Okay, in that case, let me go ahead and get this here real quick. Let's go ahead and just extend the size of it. There we go. Actually, is it still running? I'm pretty sure it's still running, right? Oh yeah, it is still compiling. While it's compiling, I might actually eat something. Okay, I'm pretty sure it's done running. If I were to go to build again, it says double click. Okay, 0 succeeded, 1 failed. Okay, is it like still running? How do we check if it's still running? I don't think it's running anymore. I mean, why is there all this empty space here if it's not running? If I go to build again. Okay, I don't think it's running. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this part. Okay, let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with shift enter and say something like, Sensei, I get this error. Okay, so say that I get this error. Now listen to me, the engine is being very stubborn because it's still holding the okay, because I don't know guys, wait, I think I'm in the wrong part. How do I scroll all the way up there? Let's go all the way down here real quick. Scroll down, there we go. Okay, now let's see, because it's holding the old map of your project even though you want to build, the linker is still crying because it hasn't properly swallowed the UMG module. If the path is blocked by debris, the master does not just pick, okay? The UMG module emergency check, the error unresolved external symbol user widget is 100% a sign that the UMG module is still missing from the build instructions. Open my project 7.build.cs. How do I open that? Double click the file again in Visual Studio. Okay, let's go ahead and say something like, let's copy this. Okay, let's go ahead and paste it here. Go to shift enter and say something like, Sensei, how do I open that question mark? Okay, listen to me. To open the build.cs, you must look past the code into the very skeleton of your project. If Visual Studio is already open, it is hiding under the nose in the Solution Explorer. To fix that, you must find the schematics. Okay, to open the build.cs, go to Visual Studio, look at the right side of your screen, usually the Solution Explorer tab, following paths. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini up here, just to read the instructions real quick. Okay, let me scroll all the way down, because for some reason I keep scrolling all the way up. Okay, let's go all the way down here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and click Ctrl-Alt-L to get my Solution Explorer. Inside my Solution Explorer, let's see, find a folder called Games. Okay, inside that there is my Project 7. Inside my Project 7, I do have Source. Inside my Source, so expand the inner module of 7. Expand the inner module of my Project 7, okay. Oh, I see my Project 7. This is build.cs, double click it. Okay, so I get this chunk of code here if I double click it. Let's go ahead and exit this. Okay, what to do once it's open? Look for the line public dependency module names. I see public dependency module names. Okay, it will look like a list of words. It is a list of words in quotes. Add the holy trinity of UI, add UMG and Slate and stale core inside those curly braces. Okay, so I'm assuming I could go ahead and add a comma here. Let's go with something like a comma. Then I'm gonna go in a new line. I'm gonna go ahead and add something like UMG, Slate and Slate core. So let's go with something like UMG. Let's go with something like, okay, is it SLATE? Or it's, yeah, I think it's SLATE, Slate and Slate core. Let's go with something like SLATE. Okay, let's go with Slate core. Okay, perfect. Is that pretty much it? It should look something like this. It says pro tips. So if you can find the file, I think I did it. Let's hit something like Control-S to save the code. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. Let's go ahead and extend Gemini real quick. There, let me scroll all the way down real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and wait for the mouse pointer again, guys. Do I see it somewhere here? There we go. Okay, let's say something like, Sensei, I think I did it, ... exclamation. Okay, listen to me. If that build.cs UMG has it saved inside, rewire the nervous system, the victory lap complication. Now that you have added the module, we need to make sure the linker part, the compiler, okay, the part of the compiler that was failing to see, save everything, press Ctrl S in Visual Studio Final Build. If Unreal is closed, right click your project in the Solution Explorer and build. Right click your project in the Solution Explorer and build. If Unreal is open, look for live coding button in the little top bottom corner and click it. The moment of truth. One succeeded. Okay, so I'm assuming I gotta go with Control Alt L and then right click my project. I wanna go ahead and build. Okay, do you guys see a build option here? Okay, maybe I think that is my project. There we go. Let's go ahead and build. Now let's wait for it to build. I'm gonna go ahead and exit my Solution Explorer here. So it says start here. Maybe I go ahead and eat something as well because I'm kind of starving. Okay, perfect. I guess I succeeded. Let me say something like Sensei. It succeeded! Exclamation. I'm opening my UE5 now. Okay, to see if it works. Pretty sure it might actually work this time. Okay, guys, let me know if the stream is actually having a better quality than my regular streams type stuff. That's the moment of reclining as the editor opens. Okay, I think the editor already opens. There we go. Okay, so it says it's compiled as well. I'm gonna go to my graphs. Okay, in my graphs, I'm gonna go a bit to the right. It says there's a cast failure, but then my target is actually perfect up here. Okay, what if I were to go ahead and open my project again? I'm gonna go to my content. Let's open my map. In my map, I'm gonna go ahead and hit something like live compile. I'm gonna try to compile the whole thing. Okay, so it says no changes detected. Okay, perfect. Now, if I were to go ahead and let's say run my code, I still have my stamina where I can actually move and all that stuff. If I click something like R. Okay, guys, did I actually forget to click R or did the R like not really work? I mean, isn't R like for the insta stop? Huh, I think the R was like for me to instantly stop. Did I like miss that part or something? Hold on, guys, let me check my R logic real quick. So, where's my current time at? Okay, so I have a spinning function, a shield function. So if pressed, and then I have an NPC move function. If R is being pressed, target speed 0. Else if target speed is greater than 0. Okay, my R logic is actually correct. Get movement, walk character. Okay, R and B pressed is correct. I think my R should be correct. Was it just like glitching or something? Okay, add on screen. If B is being pressed, if R is being pressed and G and get velocity dot size is equal to 0, then I display this on my screen. Okay, so apparently if I can't stop, then something is gonna be wrong with my target speed logic here. I create a target speed here, which is 600 normally, and then if R is being pressed, I set that to 0. Okay, why does this part not work? Maybe I go with something like 0.0f. Okay, let's go ahead and Control S to save the code. I'm going to open my Unreal Engine up here. Let's type something like live compile. I'm going to go ahead and compile my code real quick. Okay, let's wait for it to compile real quick. There we go. So it says results succeeded. I'm going to go ahead and exit that and run the code again. If I were to hit something like R, for some reason my R does not work right now. I mean, I could work on that in a bit. Speaking of that, I'm going to go ahead and open my level in like my browser. I'm going to go to my begin play and let's see create a widget. Let's go with something like create widget te. There. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create a widget. This is going to be my WBP underscore player HUD. I'm going to go ahead and add it to viewport. Let's go with something like add to viewport. Excuse me, guys. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and run my code real quick. Now, I see my widget up there. It's way too shrugged up. Let's go with something like Q. It does decrease, so that's good. Okay, let's wait for it to recover. It is recovering. Okay, over my time, it actually does recover. But why is it so small? Like, it's like a puny widget, guys. I want to go ahead and increase the size of it. I'm gonna go to my button here. I'm gonna go ahead and increase the size. Can't I, like, add an image here so I can, like, actually have a reference? There, that's good. Let's increase the size. I'm gonna go ahead and get that there. Let's go ahead and extend that. Get that there. There, now let's go ahead and compile this real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and run the code. That's much... Is it better or worse, guys? Okay, it kind of recuperates or like regenerates up there. If I like dash once. Okay, I mean, I won't say it's bad, guys. My PNG drawing is kind of awful. Like, you guys clearly see the widget size changing. That's because I did not draw those PNGs properly. Okay, perfect. I see my widget. Since this actually works, that's kind of perfect. I'm going to remove my stamina drain from the top and all that stuff. Okay, so... if I hit Q... my stamina drains so quick, guys. I mean, I didn't intend it to, like, drain this quick. It was kind of fun playing with this part, guys. That's it. I'm going to go back up here. I want to decrease the size a little. There. And then I'm going to compile. I'm going to run the code again. I think that size is kind of good. I just want to remove my stamina, this thing from the top. So I'm going to go to my C++ file. And then let's go ahead and scroll all the way down here. There we go. I'm going to remove my G engine from here, where I say to add on screen. Let's go ahead and delete this. Maybe before I delete it, I'm going to go with something like Control-A, Control-C, copy that. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. Let me go ahead and paste this, go Shift Enter and say something like insane. Okay, the entire stamina logic works perfectly, exclamation. That said, I don't think that the R logic works now. Like when I click R, my player does not stop. Okay, let's see. Maybe I'm gonna eat maybe I'm gonna eat some oats as well. There we go. Listen to me. Victory in one sector often reveals a breach in another. You have conquered the stamina, but the shield logic is currently being overridden by the engines and movement updates. The override conflict. The reason your player does not stop when you press R is because of how your move function is written. The issue is set. Okay, you set target speed to 0 if R is pressed, but you're still calling the add movement input immediately. The physics add movement input tells the character to move regardless of what the max walk speed is set in that frame. The shield stop protocol. To force the character to a dead halt while the shield is active, we must gauge the movement input, so it only fires when the shield is off. Modifier move function in C++ where I add this basic stuff. So if player control is not null PDR. Okay, only move the shield is not pressed. If B is pressed, get character walk speed. Okay, so if I press B, I forgot what B was for. B is R. Oh, if Boolean is pressed, my bad, guys. If R is pressed, get character walk speed, which equals to 0. We exit early, so movement input is added. F rotator, okay, and then if Q is pressed, I do that. And then floating point, target speed, sprint logic. That's for my sprint logic. But then max walk speed. So apparently I go ahead and get my R up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to my move function. Okay, there we go. So I have an R here. I mean, it like worked yesterday. Why not today? Okay. Oh, I think I see. Maybe max walk speed equals to target speed. Maybe instead of doing that, I might want to go with something like, I don't know, like let's say something like get character movement. Max speed is gonna be walking speed. Hold on, guys. Maybe I think I should go ahead and copy this part, delete it from here. Wait, this should be an else clause. Let's go ahead and add else clause. Else a prof curly braces. Let's go with something like else a prof curly braces. I'm gonna go ahead and paste this here. So else if neither this is pressed, neither that is pressed, I do this. Target speed 2000. Then I'm gonna go ahead and get my character. Let me scroll in a bit. There we go. Let's go ahead and use the get character movement function. Let's go with movement function, which let's say something like points towards the max walk speed that is going to be equal to my target speed. Okay, then I go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to go with something like get character movement. Okay, function that points towards something like max walk speed, which is going to be equal to my target speed. Okay, let's go with something like target speed. Okay, perfect. Then I end this with semicolon. Now let's think, why did I actually do this? So, target speed 0 while my B is being pressed. Target speed 2000 while my B is not being pressed. Actually, while my Q is being pressed. Speaking of which, this was like a useless block of code that I added here. I think the old one was correct, but I want to see if this part works. Let me go ahead and get my Unreal Engine up here again. There we go. Okay, now in my Unreal Engine, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and live compile real quick. Let's go with something like live compile. Okay, for my live compile, so let's wait for it to compile. Okay, once it's done compiling, I'm gonna go ahead and exit this, run the code. Okay, let's go ahead and run the code. If I were to hit R, okay, exactly as I thought, guys, it did not work because this block of code did seem kind of useless. So I'm gonna go with a bunch of control Z's here. Let's go with like a bunch of control Z's. So I get my characters, the speed and all that stuff, but okay, this is going to be my target speed. This is correct actually. I can't think of something that's wrong when I do this part. Is something wrong with my R release this part here? If my R is being pressed, then this is going to be 0. Where's my R pressed function? This is my RMB function. If my R is being pressed, that is going to set to true. And then when I go to my casting down here, okay, this is for my shield action started, pressed, ended, release. I mean, it doesn't work for some reason. Let me think why. Why can't I stop when I click R? Okay, so I have this is mouse cursor. It's sort of find my chunk of code up here. So that is my target speed. Get character, my max walk speed is going to be my target speed. While B is being pressed, target speed is set to 0. Okay, maybe, I mean, it should work. Let me go ahead and get Gemini up here real quick. Let me say something like, let's say, I mean, my code says our logic worked yesterday when I had the same exact code, but it does not work today. That doesn't even make sense. Speaking of sense, guys, before I even send this part, let me actually check if I didn't make a rookie mistake here. In my inputs, I have a input action of R, okay, and then this is going to be a digital boolean. And then let's go ahead and go to content drawer again. I'm going to go ahead and open my IMC default. I have a R click that executes when I click R. Let's go to my map. Let's go under my details browser. I'm going to type input. Okay, there we go. Guys, this is the rookie mistake that I was talking about. My shield action is not saved. Let's go with IAR. There we go. Okay, now this should make it work. So I'm going to go back to Gemini. I'm going to go ahead and maybe delete all this part because I might not need it. Okay, let's go ahead and live compile real quick. I'm going to go with something like live compile. And there. Let's wait for it to compile. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and exit the code. Now my R should work. If I go ahead and run, even sprint, if I click R, I instantly stop. And up here it says my shield power is like 10. Okay, no matter how fast I'm going, if I hit R, I just instantly stop. Okay. Okay, perfect. If I click R, I just instantly stop. Alright, perfect. Let me go ahead and exit this in that case. Both the logic works. Now I gotta work on actually learning the code up. Let me say something like... Okay, let me say something like, Sensei, it worked, exclamation. I had a tiny mistake. I forgot to assign my IA underscore R in my editor. Now I can focus on learning the code. ... Okay, let's see. Let me go all the way up here. Now I'm gonna go to my WBP underscore HUD. I want to see something here. So in my graphs, I gotta learn on how to use blueprints for this part. Okay, so I go ahead and send my event instructor. What if I go with Control A? And then let's go with something like Control C to copy that. Just curious, can I paste that in Gemini? Okay, that is a lot of pasting up here. Okay. Oh, wait, that is actually a lot. I'm not gonna paste all this. Let's go with A, Control A. I'm gonna delete everything. Let's see something like Sensei, so can I get some help learning on how to use those blueprints, question mark, because I usually have almost no experience on using blueprints. So can you explain me what those blueprints do and why/where to use them? Okay, let's see. Should I like take a picture of the blueprint and send? Maybe I could actually do that. Let's go with Windows Shift. I mean, do you even see this thing if I even send the picture up here? I mean, I think it's fine. I could just go ahead and just see this up. Okay, maybe I go ahead and eat some oats as well because I'm kind of starving. Listen to me, to master Unreal, you must understand that the engine has two brains. C++, the foundation, and Blueprints, the paint and polish. There we go. You have already built the iron foundation in Visual Studio. Now we must understand why we use visual scripting. Why we use the visual scripting side. Okay, what are blueprints? Blueprints slash BP are visual scripts. Instead of typing characters into a text file, you connect nodes with wires to create logic. Why we use some speed? You can change a color or a sound and see it instantly without waiting 20 seconds for it to compile. Artist friendly, it is much easier to select your stamina texture or sound effects in a drop-down menu than it is to be typing a long file path in code. Visualization, you can see the plus of wires while the game is running to see exactly where the data is flowing. Okay, where to use each brain? A professional developer uses both. This is hybrid approach okay, this is the hybrid approach you're using right now. Feature heavy math. Okay, use C++, yes. Fast and precise, use blueprints, no slow and complex math. Features for base logic, yes. Health/stamina, no. UI visuals, no. Painful to code, yes. Visually easy. Particle effects, bye bye guys. Okay, no. Sound effects, no. Yes. Instant feedback, yes. Okay. So I see all the complex stuff can be go ahead and done in the code, and all the basic stuff can be done in the using blueprints. Breaking down your current blueprints, look at the WBP underscore HUD you build the event construct. This is like begin play. Okay, begin play for the UI. We use it once you find the NPC and save it as a variable. The cast node, this checks if the player is actually your NPC class, so it can access the stamina numbers you wrote in C++. The select node, this is the translator. It takes the math 0.0 to 1.0 from your C++ and translate it into an image texture 0 to 5. Okay. Sensei's technical lessons, the data bridge. In your npc.h, you use blueprint read and write and blueprint callable. Blueprint read and write, this creates sockets so you can use your current stamina variable. I see. Okay, blueprint callable. This turns C++ function to a node you can search, okay, for and use. And then you're now a bilingual. You speak Logic C++ and Visual's Blueprint. This makes you 10 times more valuable than someone. Okay, here's the thing. Let me say something like, I see ... But I still don't know when to use which blueprint. Is it something that I need to memorize, like all the blueprints that's there, or just practice using it ... question mark? Okay, let's see. Guys, I actually did not check. Let me actually go ahead and check if my stream has a better quality than it usually does. Let me go to something like channel. There we go. Let's go all the way up here. Okay, let's see. While I'm doing that, listen to me. You're standing before the great library of nodes and it looks overwhelming, but I have a secret for you. No, no one memorizes every blueprint node, not even the masters. Did not memorize categorize. Do not memorize categorize. Unwell has thousands of nodes, but you only need to understand the 4 pillar of blueprints to know which one to use. Events, actions, getters, flow control. The starting gun, begin play, take on click. When you want something to start. Actions, the verb, set visibility, play, sound, spawn actor. When you want the world to change. Getters, the questions, get health, get actor, location. When you know a value, the brain, branch, delay, sequence. The search is your best friend. Instead of memorizing, you learn to context search. The search technique, drag a wire off a component like your stamina image and then let go. The search bar will only show you the nodes that actually work with that specific thing. This is called context sensitivity. If you drag a light, it shows you set intensity. If you drag a character, it shows you jump. Practice over preaching. Blueprints are a language of logic, not a dictionary of words. Start with why I want a player to turn red when they are hit, okay? Sensei's pro tip, the blueprint types you as blueprints, these are different files. I mean, that did not like answer my question. Doesn't make it much easier. Let me actually check if the stream's going good. I feel like, whatchamacallit, the stream looks exactly the same as it usually does. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Okay, I guess I tried figuring out what this means. Okay, so out of my event construct, I cast to NPC. Okay, and then I set. Here's the thing, how do I know what node to use when? Okay, play character. Maybe I could take a picture. Let's go with Windows Shift S. I want to go ahead and copy this part. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and copy this part, and I do have a question. Let me go ahead and decrease the size of that. I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini up here. Let's paste this. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste this and say something like, let's say, I meant for example, so let's say something like, for example, let's take this part of the nodes that I created. So I pulled a cast to NPC node from my begin play or from my event construct. Okay, but how would have I known that I need the cast to NPC question mark? Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and get my chat up here again. There we go. Let's go ahead and just exit this. Maybe I might want to eat some fruits as well because I am kind of starving. Hold on, guys. Okay, the secret of the cast node. How would you have known to use a cast to NPC? You follow the path of data. Think of it like this. The goal, your HUD needs the show stamina variable, the source, Where does the variable live? It lives inside your ANPC C++ class. The problem: the node getPlayerCharacter is a generic node. It only knows that the player is a character. It doesn't know it's a NPC. It doesn't know it's a Sensei NPC. The reason you use a cast when you have a general thing, a character, and you need to tell the engine treat this specifically like my NPC so I can access the NPC's special variable stamina. How to know which node to use? The logic flow: you don't memorize this node, you follow this 3-step mental blueprint. Step 1: identify the target. I want access to something in my NPC class. Okay, you don't memorize, you follow these 3 steps: identify the target, get reference, the filter, the cast. So I guess there's like no other way than actually understanding the logic behind this. Okay, so event construct is going to be pointing towards the cast to NPC, which points to something like set. Okay, and then my object from here goes to get player class. Okay, and then I add my player ref. So I created a player refs variable. Okay, and then get stamina percent, and then add pin floor. I mean, this still feels kind of complicated. Like, how do I know what blueprint should I add here? Do I just get some practice with blueprints? I think I could do that. Let me say something like, let's say, in that case, I can go ahead and close my current UE5 project and work on learning blueprints as well, because I am pretty good with the coding part, but I don't know much about the blueprints. Okay, so I don't know much about the blueprints, so I think I'm going to create a new project. So I could create a new project and we can do a few blueprint problems. Okay, and then later on I could work with hybrid type stuff, guys. That's this to be blah blah, the Markup feature master. Okay, problem 1, input lights. Okay, so I'm gonna go all the way up here. I'm gonna compile. I'm gonna go ahead and hit Control S to save the code. Let's go ahead and save my content drawer as well. Gotta make sure to always save this stuff. And then let's go ahead and exit this. Now I'm gonna open my Unreal Engine again. While it's opening, I might actually eat a pear. Okay, I'm gonna go with a new project. Let's go with a blank project. I'm gonna go with something like blueprint practice. Maybe without a space. There, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set this to be a C++ project. Let's go ahead and create. I see quality. Can I go with scalable? What happens if I go with a scalable quality? Okay, let's go ahead and create one. I honestly have never used the scalable quality. I'm kind of curious what it does. That's it. I might eat some more fruits real quick. Okay, so it says compiling code. It's almost done, I guess. While it's being done, I might want to eat some oats as well. Because guys, I feel like, whatchamacallit, when this stuff is just loading, I just automatically start starving. Kind of curious, what are these other classes for? Like the first person, third person, intro to Unreal, top down, handheld, virtual reality, vehicle. And I gotta like work with these other things as well. That's it. Finally, guys, took a sweet time to open. I'm gonna go ahead and exit this Visual Studio as well. Do you have an header? Okay, I might hit Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code. Now I can exit it. Okay, this is my other Visual Studio. I'm getting my project open up here as well. Now I can work with the blueprint content here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open a new level. It's gonna be a basic level. Now, inside my level, let's say, let me go ahead and get Gemini here. And guys, I have like, whatchamacallit, I forgot this was kind of wet. My bowl. Hey, do I like kind of spill it up here? And guys, there are a lot of food. Actually, there's like one fruit fly here because I have like a fruit here. Okay, that's it. This is my level. So I can move around my level. And guys, is it just me or these scalable actually? Let's hit R. Like, I like it. My floor is kind of small. There. Okay, maybe I want to go ahead and load my own floor. Is it just me or the scalable, like, did it made a difference here? I don't think it actually did. So I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini up here real quick. Let's say something like, okay, let me say that, let's say I opened a new project. Now, can we learn about the blueprints? Where should I start from? Where should I start from? Can we go step by step, question mark? Okay, let's see. Maybe go ahead and eat some fruits as well so I could get rid of the fruit fly up here. Guys, it's so hard to eat like fruits with like a spoon. Step 1, the Hello World of Blueprints. Input action, we start with problem 1. The input line. This will teach you how to make the keyboard talk to the world. Prepare the stage in your... Hold on guys, I feel like, whatchamacallit, it's way too chewy so I get stuck between my teeth. Prepare the stage in your project. Look at the place actor panel, top left, drag a point light into the middle of the level so you can see it. Open the level blueprint. Since we're just practicing, we will use the level blueprint. It's like the main function for the current map. Okay, guys, give me a sec. I wanted to test something here. Okay. So I did like whatchamacallit, stream for an hour horizontally. Now I want to switch to vertical as well because I want to actually see if it actually changed the quality type stuff. Okay, give me a sec guys. Let's go all the way up there. Let's go ahead and schedule. It does say that my quality here is kind of good. Let's go with something like a string. Hold on guys, it's not gonna take that long. Okay, because I wanted to test something. Yesterday I like watched a tutorial on like checking how to increase my stream quality and all that stuff. It said probably because dual streaming does like decrease the quality. I wanted to fact check that. So let's go all the way there. I'm gonna go ahead and change. Let's go to something like desktop. I'm gonna go to something like my C++. Let's go with something like C++. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and open that. I'm gonna scroll all the way down here. Let's go there. Open that. Give me a sec, guys. Let me go ahead and hit something like next. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna hit something like done. Now, let's go ahead and go live here as well. Okay, let's wait for it to prepare the stream. Because I was already live in my vertical, but it was just not streaming like. Let's go ahead and get that up there. Let's go ahead and like go live. Increase that. Excuse me, guys. Let's get that to the left. I want to see if it actually made a difference. Let's go there. Let's go ahead and get that here. Okay, perfect. I think that's pretty much it. I won't be adding any kind of polls or anything, but I'm gonna check if it actually made a difference here. Go ahead and get that there. There we go. Now, let me go ahead and open the live on my phone as well, because I usually see the verticals on my phone to check if the proportions are correct. Okay, give me a sec, guys. There we go. So, let's go all the way there. I'm gonna go there, switch that, go there, go your channel. There, if I were to go ahead and open this. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Let's go to something like live. Okay, maybe I go there. Hold on, guys, give me a quick second. Okay, I should have actually prepared this part like before I started my streams. There we go. Okay, now let's go to my streams here. Open that. Okay, perfect. That's like pretty much it. Now, let's see if the quality decreases or something like that. And let's actually get back to my portrait proportions here as well. Let me go all the way there. Drag this till my projects is J. Go there. Get that up there. Okay, let's go ahead and move this to the left and go all the way down. Alright, perfect. Now I'm gonna go ahead and maybe increase my floor size a little because I feel it was kind of small there. Let's go down. And now let me go ahead and get Gemini back up here. Did I exit my Gemini window? There. Okay, let's read these stages. So the hello world stage. Prepare the stage, okay? In your project, look at the place actor panel in the top left, drag a point light into the middle of the level so you can see it. Open the level blueprint. Since we're just practicing logic, we will use the blueprint. It's the main function for the current map. At the top of the Unreal editor, click the blueprint icon. Looks like the three connected boxes. Open select level blueprint, the summoning of nodes. Now let's create the logic. Do exactly this. Select the light, go back to the main viewport, click your point light so it's highlighted. Create the key reference, go back to the level blueprint window, right click in the empty grid and select create a reference to pointer. Get the key, right click in the grid and search for keyboard event F. Find the action, drag a wire from the blue pin of your point light node, search for toggle visibility. Okay, wait, I guess I'm doing stuff in the blueprint here. Okay, maybe I get this in the other window real quick. Let me go ahead and get that a bit lower. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna read the instructions while actually writing this part. So, where I see my actor, to open level blueprint stage. So, where I see place actors. So, I'm assuming I see place actor somewhere here. Okay, so there we go. I see place actor. I'm gonna go ahead and get a point light. So I'm gonna go with point light. There we go. Oh, that's how we add light here. I did not know this is how it works. I'm gonna go with something like W to move it somewhere around there. Okay, perfect. Now, once I get the point light, the top left, drag a point light to the middle of the level so you can see it. Maybe I want to go with something like R and increase the size a little. Hi, howdy, Aditya. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. Let's go with something like W. I'm gonna go there. Let's go a bit to the left. Okay, perfect. Once I'm done with that, open the level blueprint. Since we're just practicing logic, we use the level blueprint like the main function. Okay, I gotta open the level blueprint. So, okay, I'm assuming I open it from here. So open level blueprint. There we go. Now I'm gonna get this in my window here. There, now for my open level blueprint, is there something that I might need up here? At the top of the Unreal editor, click the blueprint icon. At the top of my Unreal's editor, click the blueprint icon. Okay, select open level blueprint, the summoning of nodes. Now let's create logic. Do exactly this. Select the light. Okay, go back to the main viewport, click the point light so it's highlighted. Okay, it is highlighted. Click the reference. Go back to the level blueprint window. Right click in the empty grid and select create a reference. What does it mean by right clicking something? Okay, this is pilot point light. Don't want to pilot it. Okay, let's see. So go back to the level blueprint. So maybe go ahead and this here. There we go. Okay, so it says go back to the level blueprint window. So the level blueprint window. I'm assuming that's my level blueprint window. Right click in the empty grid. Okay, create a reference to points. So I'm going to go with something like create a reference to point light. There we go. Okay, so I created a reference to point light first. Get the key, right click in the grid and search for keyboard event F. Right click in the grid. Let's go with something like keyboard, KEY, event F. Okay, there we go. So I have a F. I have F pressed, F released, and F key. Find the action. Drag a wire from the blue pin, okay, of your point light node and search for toggle visibility. So I have a blue pin here, drag a wire. Okay, and then search for toggle visibility. Toggle visibility. I see a point light component and a light component. I might go with a point light. I mean a point light component that's attached to this. Okay, good. And then once I'm done with that as well, Sensei's techniques, inspection the white wire. Look at your nodes. Connect the pressed execution pin white arrow to the F key. Execution pin, okay, to the F key. Okay, there we go. I think that this is pretty much it. In the execution toggle visibility node, why the blue wire tells the engine which light to change. The blue wire tells the engine which light to change. I want to change it to this light. Okay, and the white wire tells the engine when to change when F is pressed. Oh, I see. Okay. The moment of truth. Click compile in the top left. Hit play in the main editor. Press F. Let's compile. Hit play in the main editor. I want to press F. Did it change any kind of light, guys? Let's go with Shift F11. Maybe I go ahead and escape this. Let's go all the way there. Do I really see a difference? Let's go all the way up there. I want to go ahead and run the code. Now, let me see the lights carefully. Can I go up? Okay, I'm looking at the lights. If I hit F, the lights disappeared. Okay, something did happen. Maybe I want to go to my nodes again here. I want to go ahead and add a toggle visibility, or maybe I want to go ahead and place another actor. Let's go with something like place actor. I want to go with something like a point light. There, I'm going to place another point light here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that stuff, go to my untitled. I want to add another point light. So I'm going to right click, go with something like point light. There we go. Add point light component. Wait, I don't want to add a component. What did I type up here to actually get this? Okay, so from persistent level, maybe I scroll all the way up here real quick to click the compile in the top left corner of the blueprint. Hit play in the main window and then click F. Okay, but I don't want to go with that stuff. I want to go with prepare the stage. Open blueprint. In blueprint, select the light node, point light, create reference. Create reference point light. There we go. So I gotta go ahead and create a reference to point light. Go ahead and create a reference to point light 2. Now I'm gonna go ahead and point that towards. Let's go with something like point light component. There. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and search for something like maybe B, or should I go with something like keyboard B? Do I find B? Is there B here? There. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and toggle a visibility. Okay, I might go with something like toggle visibility. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna toggle visibility for like let's say my point light component. There we go. Wait, in that case, this is automatically created. I will not need this. Let's go ahead and connect this to that. That connected to this. Okay, now, once I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and get this white wire and connect it to breast. So once I press this. Now, let's go ahead and compile. Let's go to Untitled. I'm going to go ahead and run the code again. If I run the code, I see a bunch of lights. Let me go a bit higher. I see 2 lights. If I hit something like B, 1 light disappears. If I hit something like F, the second light disappears. Okay, now I want to go ahead and get a few lights as well. Okay, so my lighting disappears when I click those buttons. Okay, let me go ahead and get Gemini up here again. Let's go ahead and extend this window. Okay, let's go ahead and extend it from here as well. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say something like, let's say, oops, let's go up here and say something like Sensei. It works, but I'm just curious, what's the point of the code? When I click F, my bulb disappears. Okay, let's see. Does that change the lighting for some reason? Maybe I eat some pears, well. Kate, I'll be back hiding Mochi Mochi. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it. And guys, today I feel like, whatchamacallit, let me know if you guys do want me to go like in segment stream again. For example, I went on, whatchamacallit, I streamed horizontally for an hour and then I just moved on to vertical to check if it affects my quality at all. Apparently not. That's it, listen to me. If you're ready to stop wasting your precious life and actually become something, then pay attention. Okay, wait. I think I'm like way too high. There we go. Okay, let's scroll all the way up here. Listen to me. You have just witnessed the digital magic of game engines. You ask, what is the point? The point is communication. The architect does not just flip a switch, they understand the flow of the current. Okay, the truth behind the disappearing bulb. When you click F and the bulb vanishes, you're just making it disappear. You're executing a Boolean toggle. Here's the logic of what just happened in the engine's brains. The event, the engine is constantly listening. When you press F, it sends a signal down that white wire. Execution line, the data, the blue wire, it tells the code exactly which object in the 3D world we're talking about, okay? The action, the toggle visibility node looks at the light's current state, okay? If it is visible, the node flips the switch to hidden. If you press it again, it flips back. Why do we learn this first? Because in a real game, the foundation for everything, the flashlight mechanics, the interactive mechanics, the menu mechanics, press escape, okay? I see Sensei's technical lesson, visibility versus destruction. There is a huge difference in blueprints between toggle visibility and destroy actor. Toggle visibility, the light is there and the code can still talk to it. It just doesn't render pixels on the screen. Destroy actor, the light is deleted from the computer's memory forever. You cannot toggle it back. Okay, step 2, the health gate variable. Now that you can make things happen when a key press, let's learn how to make the game think before it acts. Okay. I think I see. Maybe I want to go ahead and eat some oats real quick. So, what up, guys? Okay, the goal, create a health number. Every time you press G, the health goes down. If it is 0, the game tells you game over. Shall we start creating your first blueprint variable? I think like blueprints are like actually kind of fun, but I still need to know blueprints because it's gonna make stuff much easier, even though it is like kind of not fun to actually use them. But then, okay, so I create a reference. What was this called? Let me delete this. Let's go ahead and right click. Let's go with something like create reference to point light 2. Okay, so I create a reference. What is a reference used for? What if I close case sensitivity? Okay, if I open it, then I see create reference. Here's the thing. I toggle visibility and I go with pressed. Okay, so I go ahead and create a reference. From my persistent level, I toggle visibility, which gets a target, a point light component, okay? And then I get a keyboard says F key. So when my F key is pressed, I want to go ahead and toggle my visibility to my point light right here. Okay, I think I see. Okay, and when is it that we use keys and all that stuff? Where you from? Honestly, I do live abroad, but I can't actually say where I'm actually from, like the exact country. That's it, let's see, Sensei's technical lessons. Visibility versus destruction. There's a huge difference in blueprint toggle, visibility, and destroy actor. Toggle visibility, the light is there and the code can still talk to it. It just doesn't render the pixels on the screen. Destroy actor, the light is deleted from the computer's memory forever. You cannot toggle it back. Okay, so let me say something like even though actually, okay, can I get a instruction based question for learning the blueprints? And can you make the instructions kind of detailed and let me know what output am I expecting, question mark. Okay, so I want to know the output that I'm expecting and also I want it to be like a bit detailed. Speaking of which, I'm kind of hungry. Let me go and eat something. Okay, listen to me. You have the spirit of a true apprentice. To master the blueprint, you must move from the flipping switches to managing logic. Okay, your mission, the deadly G key logic. The deadly G key, logic and flow control. Your goal is to create a health system entirely in the level blueprint. This will teach you how to use variables, math, and the most important node in the world, the branch if statement. I see. Okay, he's from, I don't know what's wrong with his accent. Huh. Honestly, guys, I do hear that a lot, honestly. Your accent is amazing. Honestly, I appreciate you. Mouse, I pronounce your name. Hold up, guys. Let me zoom in a bit. There we go. Okay, it's... Oh, most I appreciate you. Most that actually means the world to me, guys. I actually get that pretty rarely, and right now, I did, like, already stream for an hour horizontally. That's some energy that was kind of low, guys. That said, your English is gross, guys. English is gross is kind of crazy. Fakest accent I've ever heard, guys. That's actually crazy as well. That's the setup creating the variable. Open the level blueprint. On the left side, find the variable tab, click the plus button. Name it health. Okay, critical, change the variable type, the color. Fill next to it, okay, from boolean to red. Okay, so setup creating the variable. Open level blueprint. On the left side, find the variable tab, okay, click the button. So I gotta go ahead and click the plus button. My variables is tab, name it health. Critical, change the variable type, the color fill next to it, okay, from a boolean red to floating light green or integer cyan. Compile the blueprint, then look at the details panel on the right side. Set the default value of health to be 100. The logic subtracting health, right click in the grid and search for keyboard event G. Hold control and drag your health variable from the left into the grid. This creates a get node. Drag a wire from the health node and type minus choose subtract blah blah. Okay, type 20 in the bottom box of the subtract node, hold alt and drag your health variable into the grid. This creates a set node. Connect the press pin of the G key to the set node. Connect the results of the subtract node to the inputs of the set node. Guys, is it just me or this just like went all over my head? Okay, the gate. This is the player dead. Drag a wire from the output to your set health node and search for branch. Drag a wire from the health pin after it. Maybe I want to read a few docs, and if I don't understand a part, I could ask Gemini. Let's see something nice and say. I think I did not understand this. So, do you think that I should read the docs, and if I did, excuse me guys, if I didn't understand something, I can ask you question mark? And also, okay, are there examples that I could practice slash work with in the docs, and could I also get the link to it, question mark? Guys, that was like a lot to praise. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and just check all that stuff. Going pretty good. There we go. Okay, listen to me. There is no shame in seeking these scared scrolls. Even the greatest athletes refer to the blueprint before they lay in the final stage. Reading the documentation is a master level move. Okay, the scared link Unreal Engine documentation, the official documentation, is the source of truth. For the engine, you should start with the blueprint visual scripting section. How to use the docs like a pro. Don't just read words, look at the specific sections. Blueprint essentials, look for the variable and flow control sections. This will explain the branches, the track logic we just tried to build. Quick start guide. This is a blueprint quick start. There is a blueprint quick start guide in the docs that walks you through a simple project step by step. Let's go ahead and open the docs first. Okay, let's go ahead and open this real quick. There we go. So this is a blueprint scripting visuals. Maybe I go ahead and zoom in a bit. There we go. So on this page, I go ahead and see all this stuff. Maybe I go ahead and just zoom out. Okay, so let me go ahead and maybe copy this part. I mean, take a screenshot. Let's go with Control-Shift-S. Let's go ahead and copy this part from here. Okay, so what do I do once I see this? Let me go ahead and get Gemini here, guys, because I absolutely have zero experience whatsoever with learning stuff with docs. Okay, let's go ahead and delete that. But I do feel like I want to try docs because there are like few things that's like really hard to understand. Let's delete all those extra images and all that stuff. Let me go ahead and get here, go to the left side. There, let's see something like, Sensei, I opened the link, okay, and I see this. What should I, okay, what should I do next? Question mark, maybe read it off from here or something else, question mark. Okay, let's see. I'm assuming it's analyzing the image. Okay, listen to me. You have arrived at the great archives of knowledge. Look at the screen you provided. Look at the screenshot you provided. You're in the perfect place to begin your journey. Ta-ta-ta. What to do next? Your reading protocol. Do not try to read the entire documentation at once. Your brain will overload. Instead, follow the strategic path to understand what we just built. Scroll down to the getting started. Look for a section on the page titled as Getting Started with Blueprints or Blueprint Essentials. This will help the node-based interface you see in the screenshot. This will explain the node-based interface you see in the screenshot. Focus on variables. Since we just talked about health and stamina, find the link for blueprint variables. This will explain why some pins are cyan in integers, some are green floating points, and some are blue objects like your NPC. Search for casting. Use the search bar in the top right of the documentation and type casting to blueprint. Okay, this will give you the official explanation for that cast to NPC node. Ah, I see. Okay, so let's go all the way up here. Now, I gotta scroll down till I find getting started. So, blueprint visuals. Alright, so I see two stuff here. I see getting blueprint quick start guide. Okay, so it says scroll down till I find getting started, look for a section, getting started with blueprints, blueprint essentials. Okay, I do not see blueprint essentials, but I see these two things. I could go with Windows Shift S, copy that, take a screenshot real quick. Okay, so this is what I see under my getting started. Let's go ahead and copy that, chip tabs, get Gemini. Guys, this is why I actually like Gemini like way too much, because there is no limit as to how many images I can send. I mean, there is like a limit of 100, but still, that's something like insane. I see these two places. Okay, maybe I go ahead and eat something as well. Okay, what path to choose? The quick start guide. Top this in your hands. It will walk you through a specific tutorial to create your first functional blueprint from scratch. Choose this if you want to build right now. The visual scripting overview bottom, this is for all your mind. It explains the anatomy of blueprints. Okay, quick start guide, wire. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this part. I'm gonna go ahead and click this. And now I see what's new. I see like a bunch of things here. Number one, the quick start guide will let me actually, can I shrink this from here? Can I like decrease the size? Okay, I guess this is the size, guys. That's it. The quick start guide will walk you through building an actor in the level with different components, then turning it into a blueprint class. You can add launch behavior. To do so, your character will fly around the level, making it into a blueprint class. Also means you can create as many launch pads in your world as you want just by dragging it into the level content browser. Required project setup. From the new project, guys, I think I might have to wear my glasses. I feel like this is way too, what should we call it? It's way too bright for me now. Maybe I go ahead and open my OBS studio real quick. Let's go to my main camera. There we go. Okay, guys, I want to see how this actually looks. Would I look good with glasses or do I look like a complete nerd with it? Okay, let's go ahead and wear it. Let's go ahead and put this up here. Okay, I actually did not think like, whatchamacallit, these glasses look that cool, but these are pretty good when we try reading stuff. And that said, okay, so required project setup from the new projects tab of the Unreal project browser. Create a new project. Okay, from the game category, okay, the following setup, side scroller, blueprint, with starter content, choose whatever scalability and quality settings work best for your setup. Name your project and create it by clicking the create project button. You should be ready to jump into and start. Okay, so create project. Here's the thing with the project settings. Okay, so project settings. I see a bunch of settings here. Let's read it up. When you launch Unreal Engine, the Unreal Project browser opens automatically. This is where you can create a new project, open an existing project, manage existing project. The diagram below illustrates the steps to create a new project in Unreal Engine. Okay, so I create a project. Let's see. So to create a new project, follow these steps. Select the development category that best matches your industry and project goals. Okay. And then you can select the following stuff: games, film, television, okay. Select a template for your project. The templates you choose are based on the category you selected. Step 1: Unreal contains a number of project templates you can use as starting point for your own projects to learn stuff. Okay, I think I see. Maybe I'm going to go and click my template reference. So these are my templates. Oh, I see how the docs work. When you create a new Unreal Engine project, you have the option to use one of the existing templates as a base of your game or application. Unreal templates contain character controllers, blueprints, and other features that works without the need for additional configuration. Harding Arvish, is that how I pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream, guys. I feel like I'm awful at name pronunciations. Hindi, honestly, I can like actually speak some Hindi, but I can't actually pronounce or like read words at all. Cause guys, I feel like I'm kind of illiterate there. That said, when you select a template, you will see a description that tells you more about the template and what it contains. Scroll down to read the full description. Okay, so I see third person. So third person, I see. Oh, I see what templates actually mean here. I guess I could go back because I think I understand the templates. Now back to my what was this called? I forgot. New project stuff. Okay, so you can select game genres and all that thing. Configure the project defaults. In the section, you can select your target platform, and that is the hardware when your game or application will turn. Wait, hold up, guys. Did I not go back to my gameplay screen? There is no way I'm still in my main camera. There we go. Guys, I feel like it's kind of awful up there. Okay, so configure the project defaults. This section, so let's go with something like in this section, you can select the target platform. That is the hardware where your game or application will run like a computer or mobile device. Configure quality and ray tracing settings. Description, implementation. Select how you want to implement your project logic as character movement level, transitions, and so on. You can choose the following options: Blueprint if you want to build your project in the Unreal Editor and use the Blueprint visual scripting systems to create interactions and behavior. C++ if you want to build your project by programming with C++ and Visual Studio. Okay, let's first go with the Blueprint one because that's what I'm working on. Okay, the Blueprint visual scripting system in Unreal Engine is a complete gameplay scripting system based on the concept of using a node-based interface to create a gameplay elements from within Unreal Editor. As with many common script languages, it's used to define object-oriented OO classes or objects in the engine. This system is extremely flexible and powerful as it provides the ability for designers to use virtually the full range of concepts and tools generally only available to programming. In addition, blueprint-specific markup available in Unreal Engine C++ implementation enables programmers to create baseline systems that can be extended by designers. I think I kind of see. Maybe I go back to my Blueprint Quick Guide. Now, this is my Blueprint Quick Guide. I read the new project part. Let's go up here. So, name your project, then create it by clicking Create Project button. You should now be ready to jump and start adding the side scroller level that appears. Okay, construct your launchpad. Okay, in the level editor, you will build a launchpad that then convert it to a blueprint class so you can add your gameplay behavior to it. First, move around in the viewport until you're looking at the top platform of the level. Okay, so apparently I go with like a what project did I go with? Okay. Oh, I see. So this is what we're trying to do here. That does look kind of cool, guys. Okay, that's construct your launchpad. In the level editor, you will build a launchpad and convert it to a blueprint class so you can add your gameplay behavior to it. First, move around the viewport until you're looking at the top platform in the level. We're going to create container to hold all parts of your launchpad by using empty actor. These two parts or components will be okay, you will need are a shape to represent the launchpad and a trigger for when the character overlaps it. In the main toolbar, press Modules buttons from the drop-down. Click Select to display the Place Actors panel. Wait, this is a completely different interface if I go with like blueprint stuff. I can go ahead and place a actor. Now that you have the actor selected in the level, its properties are visible in the Details panel. At the top of the Details panel, you can rename it. Go ahead and click it in the box to enter a new name like Launchpad. Okay, in the Details panel, click the Add Component button and select Cube under the Common. Okay, I go with something like Cube. Click and drag the newly added cube to the default scene root to make the cube new root. Okay. With the cube component selected close range. Now we'll add a box collision component. I actually have worked with the box collision component before. I could go ahead and create that using C++, but I want to create that using the box component. That's it. Fire off an event whenever something overlaps in it. Details panel, click the add component button. Then under collision, select box. This is a launchpad. That's it. Change the box collision scale to x123. Hold up, guys. Ignore the voices from here. There we go. And location, so the box covers and extends above the launchpad. Okay, if at any time you need to change your actor properties, you can click on the launchpad instance found in the Details panel under the Add Components button. Now that you have the actor the way you want it, we turn it into Blueprint class. You can add more components inside the Blueprint editor and tweak them just like you can in the level. Convert your actor to a Blueprint class. When you make changes in the Blueprint, each time you make a new launchpad in the level, you will look... Okay, it will have the look and feel that you have created in the Blueprint editor, while you could simply duplicate your launchpad actor around the level. Any changes you make on a particular launchpad would only affect the one copy. In the Details panel, click the Blueprint Add Script button. Okay, Blueprint Add Script button. Guys, I feel like the Blueprint class interface is like completely different. The Create Blueprint from Section dialog, the box appears. We're going to edit the default path of the blueprint. What type of game are you making? Honestly, I am actually first working on the basics of making game. Like, I did like work with a stamina logic, but I did all that stuff just using C++ code and not blueprints. So many of you guys did same, and even like Gemini recommended me to actually learn regular how to use blueprints and all that stuff, because eventually in the future, when I want to add paint logic and all that stuff, texture, everything, it's going to be much time saving if I use blueprints rather than typing the code out. So I'm working with blueprints, and then later on I will like work on regular game logic type stuff. That's a change the path of the game/side scroll bar BP to game/side scroll bar BP/blueprint. Speaking of which, I'm kind of starving. Let me eat something real quick. At this point, you could rename your blueprint or leave it as the default launchpad blueprint. Okay, got it. I see. Okay, click on Create Blueprint. Your blueprint is now visible on the content browser. Right now, you could drag and drop the content browser into the level to create lots of copies of your platform, mesh, and trigger, but there will not be any behavior on it yet. In the next step, you will start setting up the graph nodes inside your blueprint to launch your character when it crosses the launchpad. I see. Create your starting point. To start adding behavior to your blueprint class, you will need to open the blueprint editor. I mean, is it important to have a blueprint class? I want to do this in the C++ class, but I want to learn this as well. Okay, double click the blueprint class in the content drawer. The blueprint editor will open and you can see a cube and the box component in a viewport. At this point, if you adjust the box component's displacement, it will be applied to all the launchpads. You make the blueprint class just like what you're working with the components in your launchpad actor. You can select the box component in the components list and adjust the location. Try location of 0, 0, 350. Okay, docked next to the viewport tab is a constructor script tab and an event graph tab and an event graph tab. Since you're going to create gameplay behavior, you should start with the event graph. Click on the tab now. Okay, I do know how to open this stuff and all that. Events events are the starting point of your blueprints' graph execution and can be associated with a number of different gameplay situations. A selection of most commonly used events are visible right away, seen as translucent event nodes. Even okay, event nodes, though certainly useful for many of your own graphs, we will be making our very own. We want an event that will execute when anything overlaps our box component. First, select the box component in the Components tab, right click in an empty spot in your graph to bring up the context menu of nodes. Okay, you could add the graph button. I think I see. Okay, we're adding an event for this component. So expand the add event for box drop down and the collision. You could also use the search box using component begin overlap to filter the menu. Select an on component begin overlap. Okay, so I have an on component begin overlap. I have worked with this add-on component begin overlap in the C++, but never in like using blueprints. Your graph now has a on component begin overlap node. Any nodes connected to this event will execute when something overlaps the box component of your launchpad. On component begin overlap, blah blah. I do remember all these things. I'm assuming this is for collision. I don't know what I was reading right now, but I know this part is meant for collision, all that stuff. Actually, my box component, because box component is basically how the collision happens. That's it. Maybe let me go ahead and just eat something real quick. Okay, in the next step of this guide, you will begin connecting nodes to the output pins of this node and learn more about working with nodes in blueprints. Test the overlapping actor right now. That on component begin overlap event will execute when anything overlaps the box trigger. We only want to actually execute our launching behavior. Though, if the overlap thing is our avatar or pawn, think of it as asking the actor overlapping the box trigger the same actor as our pawn. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Guys, I actually can't read Hindi up there. Okay, Shazam. I see, I understand the lag part. Is the stream lagging? What up, guys? Wait, let me actually check. Because, wait, was the stream lagging all this time? I don't think it's lagging. That's it, guys. I think I look kind of funny with these glasses on. Okay, that's it. Let's go up here. But guys, without the glasses, I feel like the screen is way too bright to read all this stuff. I mean, speaking of which, let's go here. Testing the overlap actor right now. That on component begin overlap event, blah, blah, will execute all this stuff. Okay. We will do that by working with the other actor output from the on component begin overlap. Okay. From that on component, click on the other actor pin, drag the empty spot on the graph. Okay, and then type equal to search the box filter. Oh, I see. Then select equal to object. Why did you choose C++ instead of visual scripting in URG? Honestly, the reason I chose C++ is because I do like enjoy coding. I feel like Blueprint is the more boring. Like, it's not like, I won't say it's like boring for like everyone. I feel like I like to write the code personally, but in my preference, I feel like Blueprint is kind of boring. But it does save a lot of time. That's why it's like a pretty good skill to actually have. So I might actually learn Blueprint, but then once I'm pretty good with the blueprint, I am going to be having writing C++ code as my main way of actually writing code, because it does give extra precision as well in a few things. When I want to display texture and all that stuff, I'll use blueprint. When I want to apply math or some kind of logic, I'll use C++. But for that, I gotta actually understand this part. I feel blueprint just flies off my head, guys. Okay, we could get side scroller character as the other input to the equal to node, but then if we change the character we were using, we would need to reopen the blueprint and manually update that. Instead, let's get a reference to the current pawn we're using. Right click in an empty part of the graph to bring up the context menu. Type player pawn in the menu's search box, then under game select get pawn, get player pawn. I have like worked with these stuff with like actual C++ code and all that stuff, but not with the blueprint stuff. All possible actions. Okay. Connect the return value output on the get pawn to the second input on the equal to node. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so what does the get pawn do? Type get pawn. I mean, the only question that I have is how do you guys get the logic? Like, on component begin overlap, sure, I know that because I worked with the code, but then how would I know that I want to get my pawn and I connect my other actor to my pawn? Oh, I think I see. Never mind, guys, I think I see that part. Okay, now that we have got a node that will tell us if the other actor is the pawn our player controls, we will use the answer to change the execution flow of our graph. That is okay, that's it. We will direct the execution flow as it leaves on the component begin overlap node. For that, we want to use a flow control node, specifically the branch node. Drag off the execution pin on the on component begin overlap node and release in an empty part of the graph. Okay, type branch in the search, then select branch from the context menu. Okay, connect the output pin of the equals node to the input boolean pin in the condition node. Okay, the graph is now ready to set up different behaviors to execute depending on whether the overlapping actor is your pawn or not. In the next step, we will do just that and set up blueprint nodes to launch our character if the results of the equals comparison is true. Okay, I'm actually trying to understand what this part means. Okay, so I added a branch up here. So I go there, type branch, then select the branch, connect the output of the equals node. So my output of my equals node into the boolean pin of the condition node. I'm assuming that's the condition node. I'm assuming that's the blueprint pin. Okay, so this is going to be my condition node. So red is for boolean. Okay, and then I go ahead and link my functions up there. And then the graph is now ready for you to set up different behavior to your execute depending on whether the overlap actor is your pawn or not. In the next step, we will do just that and set up blueprint nodes to launch our character if the result of the equals comparison is true. Okay, so it is true. Launch our character. Our launchpad is going to work by using a function called launch character. The launch character function adds the velocity you specify to the character's current velocity, allowing you to throw it whichever direction you would like. It only works on characters though, so we need to make sure that our pawn avatar is a character humanoid avatar. Okay, we do this by casting. Casting attempts to convert your input into a different type. I have worked with typecasting in like C++, but actually I've worked with like I think I worked with it in C++ as well, but I didn't like work with it when I was using SDLs in C++. Okay, so you can access specific functionalities that is only allowed for that particular type. It will succeed if your input is based on type. Everything you can place in your level is an actor. Okay, in addition, if any other specialized behavior added on later, that means you can get a reference to anything in your level, cast to the actor, and will succeed. However, not everything in your level is the pawn representing you in the game, so casting something to pawn may not succeed. Get from get player pawn node, drag off the return value pin, begin play casting to character in the search field to the context menu to find the node of the same name. I see. Okay, so I search for cast character node. Okay, so when I go there, I find a launch character type. Okay, so from the cast character node, which is this, that's the return value, cast character node. I'm assuming it's my this node right here. Oh, there we go. It is this here. I'm going to go ahead and drag my return value and search launch into the search box and select launch character in the context. Notice that the output execution pin for successfully casting automatically connected to the input execution pin of the launch character. Type 3000 into the Z field of the launch character node. Finally, connect the branch node texture execution pin to the cast to character nodes' input execution pin so that the cast to character and launch character only occurs if the overlapping actors are pawn. At this point, compile and save the blueprint using the toolbars button, then close the blueprint editor. Drag several of the launchpads into your level from that content browser. I see, click play in the toolbar on your own Use what you have learned over the course of this quick start guide to try to follow. Play a sound when your character is launched using audio component. I think I see. Maybe I'll need something real quick. Okay, I mean I can try doing this on my own right now. I'm gonna get this in the other window just to whatchamacallit, just for seeing the instructions and like the steps. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll all the way up here. There we go. So this is gonna be the first time when I'm actually gonna work with like a blueprint node. Okay, so wait. I mean, I wanna go with the C++. I don't really wanna go with blueprint though. I mean, that's fine. I can try it this way. So I'm up here. I can go ahead and delete all this. And then let's go here. I'm gonna go ahead and extend my details as panel. I'm gonna go ahead and delete light 2. Let's go ahead and delete. I'm gonna go ahead and delete point light. Gonna go ahead and delete that as well. Okay, and that's like pretty much it. Now, I gotta start with from the new project in your Unreal tab, create a new project from the category game that uses side scroller blueprint. Okay, with starter component. I mean, I want to create a brand new component. Does it mean I gotta create a new project? I mean, I could if I wanted to, sure. I guess I could create a new project. Let's go ahead and not save. Exit that. I'm gonna go ahead and open my Unreal Engine again. Now, inside my Unreal Engine, I'm gonna go ahead and do that stuff. Let's wait for it to open here. Guys, I feel like this is one reason I don't like learning streams, because like I feel like it gets way too boring. There's so much I could do in these streams. There we go. Let's go with new project. I'm gonna go with something like, okay, so which project do I want? Maybe top down. Okay, so game category side scroller. So is this is top down? I do not see side scroller. I mean, I think it's the same thing, right? Okay, this is going to be a blueprint type. Okay, with starter content. Starter content. Okay. Okay, I guess I go ahead and create a file. Now, while it's being created, so okay, let me go ahead and get this here. So there we go. Okay, let's see. Choose whatever scalability and quality settings work best for your setup. So I gotta choose the scalability and quality that works best for my setup. Oh wait, this loaded surprisingly quick. Maybe because this is a blueprint, I did not have to like open my Visual Studio. Okay, let's get this all the way there. Let's go ahead and extend this down here. Okay, now I'm gonna try to run the code. Can I move using key controls? I cannot move using key controls. I mean, I can move using my mouse and all that stuff, guys. This is one reason I actually like this stuff, but it's so hard for me to do it on my own. Can I jump? I cannot jump. It follows my mouse pointer. Okay, wait, in that case, I might not really want this project. I might go with the other one, but this is like the only one. I mean, I could try it here. It's fine. So, the first thing that I gotta do is name your project and then click create project. You should now be able to jump in the starting point. Construct your launchpad. In the level editor, you will build the launchpad and convert it to blueprint class first. Move around the viewport until you look at the top platform. Where is the side platform? I think I opened the wrong project. Let me go and exit that. Let's go ahead and open Visual Studio. Guys, I think I actually opened the wrong project. It says something like the side step. So it says, let's open Visual Studio again. I'm gonna go with something like new project. Now I'm gonna go ahead and hit cancel first real quick. I'm gonna get this here, hit new project. Now here's the thing. So it says I gotta go to side scrollers. So I see simulation. I do not see a side scroller here. Do not see a side scroller here. Do not see a side scroller here. Okay, I don't see like a side scroller project. Should I just go with talk to Unreal or like first person, third person? Maybe third person. I could try third person. Let's go with blueprint class. Let's go ahead and create a class. That's it. How are you doing? Mosa, is that a pronunciation name? I appreciate you joining the stream. And guys, I feel like the stream gets so much boring when it's just like a learning type. Let's get this here because there is just so much I could do in these streams. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and eat something. Okay, let's go and extend this from here. Now, if I run the code, I mean, at least I can move. Whoa, guys, the jump is kind of smooth. Here's the reason I was afraid that I might get a copyright if I actually use this. Let's exit this for the time being. I'm gonna worry about that later. I'm trying to learn right now. Okay, let's see. I gotta go to my edge. Okay. Name your project something, blah blah blah. Construct your launchpad. Now I gotta go to here. We're gonna create the container to hold all the parts of our launchpad using the empty actor. These two parts or components you will need are a shape to represent the launchpad and a trigger for when the character overlaps it. In the main toolbar, press modes. So in the main toolbar, I gotta go ahead, press toolbar. So tools, I gotta press modes. So in the main toolbar, where is my main toolbar? Maybe here. Okay, that is settings. I see mouse, toolbar. I see tools here, but I don't see toolbar. Maybe I go ahead and select this. I see animation, brush editing, factor, modeling, mesh painting, foliage, landscape section. I see a plus here. Okay, this doesn't look like main toolbar. That is not my main toolbar, not my main toolbar either. I see content, I see perspective, I see list, I see diagnostics. Where is my main toolbar, guys? Okay, I see third person. Let's read this properly. So in my main toolbar, okay, press modes. Do I see main toolbar? Place actors. Is it supposed to be in my actor? Do I just gotta like place? I mean, I have an actor, right? Okay, maybe I go ahead and just place an actor. Let's go with something like place actor. Okay, go with something like class, box cylinder. Okay, I see a camera actor and then I see something like a player start. Where is the actor? So I don't see that part anywhere. So it says place actors. Is this just like that Unreal Engine's doc is kind of old? So I see my level here. What up, guys? I think that there's like the old stuck in my teeth. That gets kind of whatchamacallit, kind of annoying. Okay, so attach. Edit SM. Guys, I actually do not feel like doing this stuff. Okay, that's a place actor. Okay, so camera actor. I don't want to get a camera actor. Instead, can I just go to tools, go to new class? Do I want to go? This is C++ class. I want to create a blueprint class. What if I go ahead and go to my contents drawer, right click, go ahead and right click. I want to create a new folder called something like BP classes. Let's go with BP underscore classes. I'm going to open my blueprint class. I think I opened a wrong class. Let's go with my blueprint class, right click. I want to create a blueprint class. This is going to be for my actor. I'm going to call this something like blueprint underscore actor. Okay, now for it, let's see. So that is going to be my launchpad. I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop it here. There we go, that's my actor. Maybe I want my launchpad to be somewhere there. There, I'm going to go ahead and get close to it. Get that a bit higher, a bit to the left. There. Okay, click and drag the new cube, the default scene root. So click and drag the newly added cube, the default scene root, to make a new cube root. Okay, with the cube component selected, change the scale X and D, blah blah blah. Okay, now we go ahead and add a box collision. So I'm gonna go ahead and click this. Luckily, I know how to add box collisions. Let's go with something like add a box collision. There we go. There we go. It's perfectly centered inside my actor. Okay, and then once I'm done with that, change the box collision scale to be something like this. I mean, I could actually, let's go with something like R. I want to change my scale. I want to make it bigger. There, this is going to be the size of my platform. Maybe I want to go ahead and load something inside my BP actor to static mesh. I'm going to go with something like static mesh. For my static mesh, I'm going to go ahead and click that. I'm going to go ahead and firstly shrink everything here because I want to load in a few files of mine. I'm going to go to something like content. I'm going to go ahead and load my Blender QLB file. There we go. Let's go ahead and import. Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and get my chat back up here. And these are the Blender meshes that I made. Guys, I never knew this is going to be so boring. Okay, but I mean, I guess it's just going to be boring for now, guys. It's gonna get much better later on. Having some hope. Okay, that's it. Let's go to something like static mesh. I'm gonna go to my boss actor. I want to set this somewhere. I want to keep it like away from these other things. Okay, I guess this is the complete bottom. I'm gonna go under my static mesh. Okay, why is this a child of my box again? I mean, I guess it's fine. Let's go ahead and click that. I'm gonna go ahead and add something like floor. Let's go ahead and add my floor. That's massive. I'm gonna go ahead and decrease the size. Whoops, there. Let's go ahead and just decrease the size. Click something like W, get myself a little in front. I want to decrease the size a bit more. I'm gonna go with something like R to decrease my size. Wait, that looks like it's negative size now. I want to decrease my scale. Okay, I want to decrease it like in general. There, whoops, that's getting kind of big. There, I want to decrease the size a bit. Well, I want to get the position a bit to the right. There, I think that's good. I want to decrease the size from here. Okay, that's actually increasing the width of it. I'm gonna decrease my size from here. Wait, isn't there like a general size where I can decrease it from? There, I think that size should be good. I'm just gonna go ahead and click my box collision and increase the size of it. Why is my static mesh a child of my box collision? Let's get out of it. Let's go back to my static mesh. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set this to be here. Okay, I think the size is set. To be something good. I'm gonna click my box collision. I want to increase the size. There. I mean, it looks pretty good to be honest. Let's go ahead and click my static mesh. I want to hit W and get this right under this. There. And then I'm gonna hit something like R to scale it a bit lower. Okay, why can't I actually scale it lower? Maybe I want to like try setting it. Wait, what if I actually go to content drawer? I go to my content, go to my blueprint classes, double click my actor class. Okay, what if I go ahead and add my box collision and everything inside here, so it's going to be much easier. I might delete this from here. Let's go to something like static mesh. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. A box, I'm going to go ahead and delete it. I'm going to go here to my BP actor. I'm going to add those things here. Firstly, I want to go ahead and add a box collision. Oh, bad guys, I got to go and type add. Let's firstly go with a static mesh. Okay, this gives me more control actually, adding it from here. Why is my speed so... Why am I so fast? Can I decrease my speed if I go like this? Or am I going really fast? Okay, I think I'm going really fast. Hold up, guys. There we go. Increase my speed a little. Guys, is it just me or am I going like very, very fast? Okay, there. I think that should be good, right? Is that good? Am I really going that fast? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to actually figure out why am I going so fast. Let me double click so I can get back to my... Where even is my actor now? Perspective. I want to go with my perspective. Let's show floor. What if I go with show floor? Hold up, guys. I think I did something wrong with my positioning. I want to double click. Maybe I exit that and I go back up here. Let's go ahead and double click this. There we go. Forgot to get my chat up here again. Hold on, guys. Let me get my chat up here. There. Okay, let's go ahead and close Gemini. Let's go to base actor. Okay, I want to go ahead and open my actor. This is going to be my class settings. Wait, let's go all the way up here. This is going to be my C++ classes. Why is it my base actor? Okay, I see my static mesh and all that stuff. I don't want to be in my graph. Simulation, hide unrelated, find unrelated, blah blah. Constructor, viewport, there we go. I mean, I think this is fine. I can adjust this. Okay, under my static mesh, I'm gonna go ahead and add a static mesh to it. I'm gonna go with something like floor. There. I'm gonna go ahead and decrease the size of my floor. Let's go with something like R. Decrease the size. There we go. Okay, now can I decrease the size using my details panel? Let's decrease my scale from here. And I know usually we do this stuff in our in Blender, but then I actually did not think I'm going to be needing this tiny floor here. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and add a box collision. Let's go with something like a box collision. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click something like W. Oops, not there. I'm going to go ahead and click my box collision here. This is not going to be a child. I'm going to hit something like W. Okay, and then get my box collision here. Okay, are you Diddy, guys? Are you Diddy? Is kind of crazy. I'm just way too exhausted. I want to try actually understanding the parts. Because usually I try to make the stream interesting and all that stuff, but guys, I feel like I'm kind of dead. Because, this is like way too hard to do. Okay. And then I can go ahead and move around as well. This is my box collision. Maybe I want to go ahead and... Oops. Maybe I want to go ahead and increase it from here. I guess I could increase it from here. Decrease it. Decrease it from here. And then I'm going to click something like W. To get this a bit in front. I'm going to click my static mesh. W, get this in front. There, I think it's completely inside my collision box. Now, my entire instance, this is going to be my root component. There, I think I'm done with that. I'm going to go ahead and compile, go back to my code here. And now, let's go ahead and check it out. How does this always never work out like I want it to? Maybe I'm going to scroll all the way down. I'm going to go to my BP actor. Let's go ahead and get this a bit lower. Click my box. I want to increase my box collision to be a bit wider. There, that's good. Now, I might actually click my box collision again. So let's go with BP actor, box collision. I want to decrease it a little. There, and then let's hit something like W. I want to get this a bit back. And then I'm going to hit something like R, get it a bit in front. That's perfect now. Okay, that's perfect. It took me so long to get that done. Okay, speaking of which, I might eat some oats because I'm kind of starving. Okay, now I gotta convert my actor to a blueprint. My blueprint class. I already did that. Okay, where's my actor here? Let me type something like actor. Isn't it called actor? Let's close my playground. This is workspace. Okay, I'm assuming that's my actor here. And guys, I want to remove my glasses just to make my head hurt. There. There we go. Huh. Okay, this is like much better. But I still kind of do have a migraine. Create your starting points. So I already created my starting points. I don't really feel like doing this. Okay, let's see. So I gotta go to my docked next door to viewport tab is construction script type and event graph. So I'm assuming I gotta go here and then let's go to my event graph. Now in my event graph, I gotta add a bunch more things. Let's go ahead and extend this, go all the way down there. Let's exit my compile results. So let's read this part. Events are the starting point of our blueprint graph's execution and can be associated with a number of different gameplay situations. A selection of most commonly used events are visible right away, seen as translucent event nodes, through certainly useful for many of your blueprint graphs, where we will be making one of our very own. We want an event that will execute when anything overlaps your box component. So I apparently just got a collision. It's going to be so easy to do this using code. Using my C++. Okay, right click in an empty spot in your graph to bring up the context menu. Okay, and then I gotta go ahead and look for add event box. Expand your add event box drop down and then excuse me guys. Okay, select on component begin collision. So I gotta right click and find something like on component begin. I think I spelled something wrong. Okay, so it's add on component begin collision. Did I spell that part wrong? Okay, select on component begin collision. Let's copy that, right click. I'm gonna go ahead and paste that here. Okay, I'm gonna close context sensitivity, so it's assign on component begin collision. Wait, I think it should go from here. I'm gonna click something like plus. Wait, did I have to actually create plus? Okay, all actions and blueprints. We're adding stuff, so all the actions and there's a blueprint. Okay, so wait, instead of adding something new here, let's go ahead and delete this. Should I go with the search bar and like search something like on component begin collision? I think that's actually kind of wrong here. I see call functions, so I don't see this part. Okay, all actions for this blueprint. Let's go ahead and exit this. I'm very sure I got a right click up here. Okay, so I guess I got a right click. Now, when I right click, I see accessibilities. Let's select that. Okay, select a component to see variable and functions. I'm gonna go ahead and look for collisions. Oh, I see. So I have my collision section here. Add event box. So instead, can I type something like add event box? Add event for box. For box. Okay, I see utility, add component. Maybe when I just go with add event, I see this stuff. So it says on collision. Where is my on collision begin play? It could be that I don't find that because this is not for my box component. If I would right click my box component and find something like on collision begin play. There we go, on component begin play. Okay, I guess I have to have my box selected to do that stuff. That said, your graph now has on component begin play node. Any nodes connected to this event will execute when something overlaps the box component of your launcher, okay? In the next step of your guide, you will begin connecting nodes to the output of this node and learn more about working with nodes in Blueprint. Test the overlap actor right now. That on component begin play will execute whenever anything overlaps the box trigger. We only want to execute our launching behavior through the overlapping thing. If our avatar or pawn, think of it as asking if the actor overlapping the box, the same actor as our pawn. Is the actor overlapping our box the same actor as our pawn? Okay, let's go ahead and set that real quick. There we go. How doing, Geet? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that's it, guys. I think I want to like wear my glasses, but that like hurt my head. Maybe I want to eat some oats to get some energy real quick. Okay, drag context menu. And guys, is the stream lagging? Okay, I don't think it's lagging. There we go. Okay, that's type equal to into the search box to filter the available nodes and select equal to object. Okay, so it says from the on component begin overlap event, click on the other actor pin. Okay, so I gotta go ahead and drag the box from here. Let's drag a node. Now I'm gonna go ahead and search something. The context menu is adaptive filtering, the filtering by the pin you're currently working on with, okay, to show you only the nodes that are compatible. Type equal to, so I gotta go ahead and something like equal to. Okay, so I get an equal to node here. But this node seems a bit different, so I'm gonna delete the node, gonna go ahead and type equal to again. I want to try the second one. Greater than equal to, less than equal to. I guess I just want to go with equal to. Okay, we could set side scroller character as the other input to the equal to node, but then if we change the character we were using, we would need to reopen the blueprint and manually update that. Instead, let's get a reference to our current pawn we're using right now, and then right click on an empty part and bring up type player pawn. Let's go with something like player pawn. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my player pawn. Okay, and then in my get player pawn, I'm gonna connect my other actor to that, and this is gonna be my return value here. Okay, so my other actor is my player's pawn. Now that we have got the node, okay, now that we have got a node that will tell us if the other actor is the pawn or player controller, we will use the answers to change the execution flow of our graph Okay, that is, we will direct the execution flow as it leaves the on component begin overlap node. For that, we want to use a flow control node, specifically the branch node. Drag off the execution pin on the on component begin overplay node and release in an empty part of the graph. On component empty part of the graph, sure, I guess here. Okay, type branch. So I gotta go with branch. Okay, so I have branch here. I'm gonna go ahead and click that. Let's get a branch node here. Now, in my branch node, okay, I gotta go ahead and connect that. It is connected. I'm gonna get that there. I'm gonna go ahead and get my branch node here. There we go. Okay, connect the output pin of the equal to node to the input boolean pin of the conditional node. So this is the conditional boolean pin here, and that is my output node of my equal to. Output of the equals node is my condition here. Okay, the graph is now ready to set up different behavior to execute depending on whether the overlapping actors are pawn or not. In the next step, we will do just that and set up blueprint nodes to launch our character if the result of the equals to comparison is true. Launch our character. Our launch pad is going to work by using a function called launch character. The launch character function adds the velocity you specify to the character's current velocity, allowing you to throw it in whichever direction you want. It only works on characters though, so we need to make sure to, okay, everything you can place on your level is an actor in addition to other specialized behaviors add on later. That means that you can get a reference to anything in your level, cast the actor and succeed. However, not everything in your level is representing you in the game, so casting something to pawn may not succeed from the get player pawn node. Drag off the return value pin to typecast to the character in the search field of the context menu to find the same name. Cast to character. Mine is already a character class, so I don't think I need it. Okay, and then type launch. So character launch, notice that. Okay, I think I want to watch a few tutorials on this because I do not think that I understand much from just reading the docs. Like, if I do this, why is it even at this part? That's it. I might actually do those. That was pretty much it for the stream. I am kind of exhausted, so I do want to like watch a few tutorials and all that stuff because I feel like the docs just kind of went over my head. That's it. If you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like, give my algorithm, share, make you smile, and subscribing to get you on top. That's it, guys. I did start I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, Geek, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well if I did meet the followers and requirements. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is going to be in the description, and also join the Discord server. That's where I usually talk to you guys, chat with you guys, or like have general conversations. The link will be in the description as well, and you guys can get access to my social by typing exclamation social in chat, or get access to my Discord server by typing exclamation Discord in chat. And guys, today I did try to just go like just stream horizontally for an hour, and then I moved on to horizontal and vertical to check if that actually affects my quality type stuff. I think it did not. That's it. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.